What's with this? Just all golf.
Yeah, well, what else would I be reading about? I've got a stack of magazines over here. This is Golf Digest, and I don't know if I like the new Golf Digest. Have you guys started to enjoy it, the new layout, the new format?
Haven't checked it out yet, so I don't have an opinion, bud.
It's basically like there's an article in this one about distilleries, which is cool because I like whiskey, but I don't know. It's not all golf. It's more lifestyle stuff. But
I didn't know they still sold paper magazines.
yeah, they shouldn't. They should.
Bad for the environment.
Yeah.
Hang on. It's playing. That's fun. I was watching myself. Weird. Okay, so today's guest, and we're starting early because we've got a lot of stuff to talk about because I am really excited about today's guest. He's really active in the golf community, and it's funny because we're promoting him at his facility, but he's not at his facility today. So today's Friday Foursome is presented by Back9 Network. Jason is not with us. Jason, I don't even know what was Jason doing today? Do you even know?
I don't remember. He sent in questions, I remember.
Yeah, he did. He's actually got more questions. I'm just going to use his questions and take credit for them. And as always, coming up from the bullpen, Scott Merchant. Scott, how are you, buddy?
The lefty coming in.
All right.
Well, Les Bailey is from Pro Golf Now. Scott Merchant is from Golf Pipeline. And we've got Paul Kaster. And Paul Kaster is from Royce Brook Golf Club. He's a teaching pro there. But you're not at Royce Brook today. So tell us, one, where you are and what you're doing. And take a couple of minutes to introduce yourself. Welcome to the Friday Foursome, buddy.
Thank you guys for having me. This is a really special thing to be able to be here. And I'm actually in Atlanta at TPC Sugarloaf, which is where the PGA is holding the national championships for the PGA Junior League. And for those of you who may not be completely familiar with PGA Junior League, it was a growth of the game initiative that was created about 3 years ago by the PGA of America to start getting kids more involved in golf. And it's a little bit of a different format. The kids play in scramble, in team scramble, so it's two-man scramble. Our team has 10 players on it, 2 alternates, and 8 players who play in matches. They all wear jerseys. The jerseys have numbers on them, and they go out and do battle. And it's a great format because obviously in the scramble it takes a little bit of pressure off. For kids who are maybe a little bit more social or are drawn to golf and activities with their friends for that reason, it just makes the game a lot more appealing for them. So we've had a great response. We've had participation triple in the program over the last 3 years. Our team made it to the national championship 3 years ago when I wasn't at Royce Brook, and we're back again this year, which is really cool.
Well, it's because you went to Royce Brook, that's why. So you're at Royce Brook, and now you're back.
I would like to take credit for that, but it's not entirely that.
So jerseys, like baseball jerseys, basketball jerseys, like what kind of jerseys?
They look kind of like a golf shirt, but with a number on it. You know, it's a golf shirt with on their number, and they actually got 2 special national championship jerseys when they got here last night. TaylorMade sponsors the event, and so they got a dozen golf balls in their locker. They have lockers in the champions locker room up in on the second floor of the locker room here. And they had 2 jerseys, a backpack, I think a sweater. I didn't get to see all the swag that they got, but you know, I think they're just like golf shirts with numbers, and it's pretty cool.
What kind of swag did you get? That sounds pretty impressive for the golfers.
I'm wearing it. You can see it right here.
The hat. You got a white hat.
Yeah. It says championships.
That's
right
awesome.
there.
Well, this episode of the Friday Foursome is being streamed live to YouTube. It'll be in the golf community after today, and also it's going to be on Golf Life TV. I'm really pumped about these guys because they're starting to share Friday Foursome, which Les Bailey used to share on Pro Golf Now, but doesn't anymore. Les.
Sorry, man.
So now you can watch these after the fact on Golf Life TV, which they were in a Friday Foursome a few weeks ago, so it's pretty cool that relationship has started. And Jason did submit. He submitted 6 questions. It's funny, when he's here and he's actually participating in a Friday Foursome, he has like 3 questions. He's not here, so he has 6. So I'm going to steal
This is a hot button issue for Jason. Like, he loves golf, so come on.
No, like the last 3 or 4 that he's missed have been based on junior golf. So
I was going to mention that. You know, here it is again. We're talking junior golf, and Jason's not here.
That's funny.
What's up with that?
Well, speaking of junior golf, his first question was, how did you get involved in coaching, especially juniors?
I ran a golf course for a couple of years before coming to this job, and my favorite part of the whole job was running our junior program. So, I was head golf pro for kind of a smaller facility, not about an hour from Royce Brook, called Highbridge Hills, and it's another, dare I mention, Billy Casper golf managed property. And so I developed a junior program there and had so much fun with the kids. And when an opportunity to start teaching full time came up at Royce Brook, I was familiar with a lot of the folks down there and the great program that we have. I kind of wanted to make the move and spend as much time as I could coaching.
Awesome. Les, I'm going to pass it over to you.
All right. Well, I'm on the other end of the spectrum. Everybody's talks about junior golf.
You were a junior once.
Yeah, one time. What kind of programs do you have for seniors?
I don't really specify my teaching for seniors, but I would say I have adult coaching programs, and that's kind of the way I design my instruction for adults and for juniors as much as I possibly can. I try to create structured, longer-term programs for people and kind of give them a roadmap and a way of looking at improvement as a long-term project rather than kind of coming to a golf pro to get some magic fairy dust sprinkled on them to get better.
Fix my slice in 5 swings of a
Yeah. So I have monthly and season-long coaching programs, and I've had some great success with senior and junior adult players.
Very politically correct.
There you go.
I think the way I do it, the way I approach it is through assessments and benchmarking. I work with Peter Sanders from Shot by Shot, and have access to some really great data that allows me to do initial assessments and then keep track of people over time so that we can, A, make sure that they're improving at the things that are going to matter the most to their score, but B, also show them the improvement so that they can, keep me honest, and I can keep them on track, and it's really been successful.
Are you more concerned with kind of getting the juniors into this ecosystem, or are you more the guy that says, okay, now that you're in this ecosystem, I'm going to be the guy that gets you from breaking 120 down to breaking 100? Where is your role? Or are you doing both, or what's kind of the role there?
I'm one of the teaching pros. We have 3 full-time instructors at Royce Brook. The director of instruction, Anthony Latham, won the New Jersey PGA Junior Golf Leader Award last year, and he runs the junior program. I teach a lot. I teach, we have 311 kids in the program right now.
That is a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of kids, and I do a lot of the instruction, especially during the summertime. Some of the other professionals help us with the summer camps and stuff that we run, but we've had as many as I think 65 or close to 70 kids in summer camp sessions during the summer. So, a lot of my students from Highbridge came to Royce Brook to the summer program. So I guess in that sense, yeah, I'm partly involved in the recruitment process, I guess, if that's what you were asking. But my job is to get them to enjoy golf. That's my main concern. It's not just how much better they get or what their ability is, but I want them to be happy. I want them to think of golf as a place where they want to be, a golf course as a place where they want to be, and then if they get better, I hope they get better, but if they get better in the process, then that's the secondary goal, I guess, is the best way to put it.
So what are your top few tricks, to get them to enjoy? I mean, are you giving them a milkshake or whatever after their practice session, or are there a couple things that you can get them, to to relax and have fun and get, what are their keys to being able to enjoy the game at an early stage?
I want a milkshake.
Solid shots. Like when at the very beginning, just trying to get them to hit solid shots. Clean contact, get the ball up in the air, make some putts, have some kind of reasonably paced, I guess, or a reasonable level of competition amongst themselves, so that they're having fun playing games, and there's a social aspect to it. So that's the way I approach it with, like relative beginners. But we also have 8 kids at Royce Brook who went to the World Championships at Pinehurst this year. So those kids you have to deal with a little bit differently. And they just want to have fun. There's no difference there. But the motivational tools and the games that we do for them and things like that are going to be a little bit different.
Speaking of Pinehurst, Sean Ogle from Breaking 80, a former Friday Foursome guest, was at Pinehurst #2 yesterday, played and tied his lowest round ever, and it was an 81. But
wow,
he said it was an 81, but it was a Pinehurst #2. So
then why does he have a white website called Breaking 80? I don't get it.
He's trying to break 80. If you would have watched the episode, you would have known that, Scott. Thank you for.
I was there for it. Yeah.
Okay, so Jason asked this question, but because I have one in my bag, I should have brought it in today. I don't even know why I didn't bring it in today. But Seymour putters. I don't know what your affiliation with Seymour is. Tell me the putter rocks. I think I like the grip more than anything. But until I had it, I didn't really know what they were. Like I had heard about it, but I didn't really know. So tell me what your relationship is with Seymour, and are you playing a Seymour putter?
I definitely do, and that's why I have a relationship with them. I still compete and have been playing competitively, for a long time. I think this is probably my 23rd year of playing competitive golf. So I switched to a Seymour putter. Actually, it was like 3 years ago now. I think I qualified for the Met Open here in Jersey, shot 68 to get in, and then my putting left me, and went to the tournament and proceeded to struggle pretty mightily for a couple of days on some tough greens at Plainfield, and realized that I couldn't get the ball started online, and that there wasn't really anything I could do about it in the span of 2 days while I was there before missing the cut. And so, I knew about the system. I knew that Zach Johnson had been using it, and I had actually messed around with it a long time ago when I was in college. And so I went out and bought a putter and started working hard on it, and looked up a lot of the YouTube videos that maybe you've seen by now, Ricky, I don't know, but and worked hard on it for like a month, and just saw a tremendous amount of change in the way I was putting, and feeling really confident in how I set up over the ball, and that I was aimed correctly, took a lot of the pressure off the other aspects of putting, which are speed control and green reading and just trust generally. So
well, if you putt like me, it's firm and at it and see what happens. It goes in sometimes, sometimes it doesn't.
I can't putt that way.
I don't leave putts short, let's just say that.
Well, that's good. A little confidence goes a long way. But
if it doesn't get to the hole, it can't go in, so if it goes 4 feet past, that's
just keep saying that after every 3-putt, buddy.
Right? Yeah, our 4-putt.
I had one of those last. Thanks for reminding me. Awesome.
So, I'm really happy to hear that you like the putter. I got involved with them right after that. I called them up and said, hey, this is really helping me. This can help my students a lot. I want to get involved in your certified instructor program. And 3 years later, I'm, not to sound immodest, but I think probably one of the leading guys in the program, and do a lot of stuff with them. And I have sold a lot of the putters and have a lot of very happy students because I give them something that they can practice, and there's a rhyme and a reason to what they do, and it gets them better, which is what my goal is.
That's awesome. We need to get them in and active in the community, because I think they'd be a great asset to having them active. So, Les, take it away, buddy.
Yeah, man. One of the questions that kind of came to my mind when you was talking about the junior golf, after someone comes through your program and has found success in your program, what's the next step for them? Do they Are there colleges looking at them at your program, or are they looking at the web.com tour, or trying to get on the PGA tour, or?
That's that's a multifaceted question. I would say depends on what their goals are. Uh, if they're a younger child who wants to get involved in tournament golf for the first time, then we help them learn about the U.S. Kids Junior Tour and the New Jersey PGA Junior Program, Junior Tournament Series, rather. I have students who are playing at the college level. I have.
Any of them going to Georgia?
No. Yeah, I mean it's. So these are, we're talking about the Northeast United States, right?
Yeah.
So the time frames for improvement and also people's priorities are a little bit different. So a lot of my clients are very, very talented academically as well, and so they kind of balance their priorities and decide to maybe go to. I have one student who's looking, I think, at going to Penn next year, but he's also a former, very, very talented former New Jersey boys champion. So I think I also teach a couple of mini tour players. So it's just that in the Northeast, in our area, if you get to the point where you're going to play professionally or you're actually seriously contemplating that, you're not going to be in New Jersey for very long.
So you're telling me Rutgers is not a hotbed for golfers?
It is. It's actually a very good program.
Really? At Rutgers?
Yeah, that's
wow.
St. John's has gotten very, very good. You look at some of these schools in the Northeast, and college golf is so much deeper all the way across the board than when it was when I was playing. Whatever it was now, I think 15 years ago. So there are professional caliber golfers that are coming out of all kinds of different schools.
Wow.
And I think, an opportunity to play in college you shouldn't really look at it as, if I'm going to X school, I'm not going to be able to play professionally because now we have indoor facilities and simulators and things like that.
Right.
So you said 68 a few minutes ago. You're obviously breaking 80, but what is your lowest round at Royce Brook? That's 68, regardless of where you shot. It's pretty solid.
Thanks. Yeah, I haven't gone much lower than that recently. As you get busier, teaching, you tend to play a little bit less. I think I've played 10 tournament rounds this year. I shot 69 once. My best round at Royce Brook is actually 69 on the West course. The course rating there is 75, though, so that felt pretty good.
It's pretty good.
And best overall tournament round ever was a 64.
Tell me you had a bogey.
That was a long time ago.
Like 64? That's so good. Scott, what's your lowest round?
I've shot 69 probably 4 or 5 times, and I can't on par 72s, and I can't get.
I was just gonna say par 71.
Hey, 69 is a 69, bud. So
all right, I'll agree with that.
Jealousy doesn't become you. So no, but I can't. I don't know. Sometimes the putter gets hot, and then but I'm a hack. I'm a chop. So
we've got to get you a Seymour putter then.
I don't know. I've never even swung. I know Zach plays one, and I did a little bit of research on it. I don't see them on the shelves very often. It's not like they're stocked in the, traditionally. And maybe they're next time I'm at the PGA Tour Superstore or whatever. Is their distribution model to find good high quality teachers in certain markets and kind of use that as their push, or are they trying to actually get into, not to say an evil word, but like a Dick's or a PGA Tour Superstore for that distribution?
We won't mention the aforementioned evil word, but I would say, I think their model has been to work through instructors, but they're working in some of the larger stores, like Golf Galaxy is a big partner for Seymour and Golfsmith as well. So it kind of depends on your local area and whether, our local Golfsmith stocks a lot of Seymour putters, and I help them, and I'm close with the manager there. But the model has been for the company to work with local golf professionals who can get custom fitted putters in the hands of their players, their students, their customers very quickly. And for instance, I get a custom putter for my students within about 5 days, so that's very, very useful. But by all means, if I can help in any way, it's a great system. And one of the things that I think we don't really understand a lot as players is that because of the way we set up to a golf ball, nobody aims well. And so if you can create a solution for that somehow in your practice routine and have a way of working on that, you're going to get better, and it's not just going to be your putting. My iron play has gotten better in the last 3 years as a result of the work that I've done with my Seymour putter. And I know that for certain. So if you want any more information, by all means, just give me a shout.
So Jason wanted to know what your relationship with GolfWorks was. I didn't even know you had a relationship with them.
I write for them. I'm
nice.
a featured writer for Golf WRX. Yep.
Okay. Is it fair to say GolfWorks or is it WRX?
People say it both ways. I don't.
Okay, just making sure. I've always said okay. How long have you been writing for them? That's cool. I didn't realize you did that.
Yeah, 2 years. 2 years. I try.
Les is quite the writer.
Is he?
I wonder why he doesn't. Les, why don't you write for somebody like that?
Well, because I write for Fansided. I enjoy writing about PGA stuff.
Oh, versus
European
products.
So Paul, from a junior golf standpoint, what I guess I got a couple questions. I read an article that was posted onto my Facebook about 15 different times about kids getting locked into one sport. They used to play multi-sports, and now the club sports system is trying to lock them into just hockey, just football, just gymnastics, or whatever. As you've seen hundreds, maybe thousands of students coming through, are you, with golf specifically, are you trying to get students to play other sports as well, tennis, baseball, things with hand-eye coordination? Or do you see it better as saying, hey, it is good to focus on golf, to see real improvement?
That's a really good question, and the answer is I don't encourage specialization until a kid, a junior, reaches an age where they can make kind of their own independent choice about what they want to spend their time with, spend their time doing, what they want to pursue seriously, going into college or something like that. But it's not good developmentally, I think, to have kids who are really young only playing one sport. I played a lot of different sports growing up. I was a pitcher. I was a very good baseball pitcher, and I think there's a connection there between throwing and golf in particular. But I just think that, having lots of different activities, golf has some pretty unique emotional demands. I think so. If kids get very serious about it when they're young and only do golf, it can be a little tricky sometimes. So, I definitely encourage up until maybe, 13, 14, depending on the child, when they can start to make a choice about what they want to spend their time doing. Obviously, at that age, the demands of school and their social life and things like that kind of require them to start making choices.
Have you seen parents try to specialize their kids, make that decision on behalf of them and say...
I've seen coaches do it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you see all kinds of different people. There are differing opinions, and I don't think that I have the final answer, but that's just my feeling, and I've done a lot of studying and attending various, junior golf-oriented certification programs and things like that, and it's just my belief that kids should be having fun, and that when they get to a point where they have to make longer-term choices about their life, that they can become specialized then, but they don't have to make those choices when they're 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Hashtag golf is fun. So
yeah,
I'm going to
for
ask
sure.
about I'm going to ask about the weather, and this kind of is a good segue to one of Les's questions. But Jason wanted to know what you do during the winter months. Are you helping your students get ready for the spring? And I mean, you even mentioned that New Jersey's not kind of a great place for golfers in the winter months.
Yeah, so I mean, I ran a golf course for a couple of years, for the last few years, and so we were actually open year-round, believe it or not, and so that kind of limited some of my off-season coaching options. We didn't have an indoor facility, but really excited that this winter I'm going to be doing some off-season teaching at 2 different places. I have a relationship with a place called Test Sports Clubs, which is in Martinsville, New Jersey, and they have an indoor field house where I'll be doing short game and group instruction, about a 60-yard turf field where students can hit pitch shots and chip shots, and we can do all kinds of cool stuff for short game. And they also have world-class fitness trainers who help athletes from all different kinds of sports work toward their goals, including a lot of players who prep for the NFL Combine and some other sports.
That is really cool.
Yeah,
I love a 60-yard, like that just sounds neat.
I'm so psyched for it because it's, in the wintertime, people really want to hit golf balls, right? I mean, you're craving it when it's cold and when there's snow on the ground, but to be able to go into a space and hit distance wedges to, different targets, and that's something that you don't always have access to. So I'm excited to do it myself, so I can't wait to do it with my students. But and then I'm also going to be teaching at an indoor simulator facility called the Golf Cave, which is
cool.
In Clark. Yeah, they have 3 fully enclosed high-definition simulators. That's the name of the company that makes the simulator. They also have a really nice indoor putting green, so I can continue my putting instruction, which has become, a pretty good chunk of my business, about half my business.
I would like to see simulators, because all the simulators I've ever seen are just like the flat screen. I want to see one that's like 360, like that you go in and it's just like a complete, like you're actually there. Like why
if you go to
the
website for this place, it's golf-cave.com, and they have wraparound. The simulators are actually wraparound simulators.
I didn't know that, and I didn't say that thinking and setting you up to say that. That's awesome. I'm gonna totally go look that up, because that's like, you would just think that like technology would get to the point to where you're just totally wrapped around the golf course. So
okay, so now hologram type of things where you're in the trees, or I mean.
Yeah, the birds are chirping. You feel like you're right there.
Scott, if you hit fairways, you don't have to worry about that. I'm just saying.
Just punch outs are my specialty, bro. Come on.
Les, I kind of stole your question, and he kind of answered your question.
Well, I that's all right. I can smooth off on that. I played golf at the Playboy Club back in the late '70s up in New Jersey, up around the Randolph area.
Yeah.
How far is your facility located from there?
Royce Brook is probably maybe 50 minutes from that area.
You further down south, or?
Yeah, we're in central Jersey. We're only maybe about 20 minutes from New Brunswick, where Rutgers is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Now wait a minute, Les. You played what club? And if it's the club that I think you said,
let's not go any farther. Let's just let it kind of.
Is that the club? I've never heard of that.
I think it was closed back in the 80s or 90s or sometime.
It's actually back open. I think it's called Great Bear now. It's part of the Crystal Springs Resort.
Yeah.
Let's Scott move on before this gets out of control.
No, the Crystal Springs guys are good, Art, but you wanted to go deeper into this Playboy Club thing. Come to Chicago, we'll take you to the original spot. That way you can research all.
Just an eerie silence falls over the crowd now.
Yeah.
Hashtag awkward, Ricky. Come on, keep it moving.
Hashtag family friendly.
He's a youngster,
Scott, take it away.
I was on Twitter last night, and the damn thing almost melted after Ted Bishop's comments. I didn't know if Paul had seen it, had any feedback on it. Or, I mean, what do you think? What do you think, Paul? Were you familiar with what's going on in the last 24 hours with our PGA president, or what?
No, I've had my hands full with 10 to 13-year-olds, but
okay.
Look it up, because I don't think I agree with most people, because, I mean, here's the solution. I don't know. Scott, what are your thoughts before I say anything?
I don't know. Just the controversial part about the little girl, and he hitting it like a school. He's behaving like a schoolgirl and all that stuff. It was it just seemed a little out of place for the president of the PGA. But I didn't. There was just a lot of backlash, and now I don't know. Is there a backlash to the backlash? And
the tweet was deleted almost immediately. I know
but
that.
don't you think a little controversy will help golf a little bit?
No, not this sort of controvery, buddy. Not
it worked for NASCAR, man. They get in a fist fight, and next week everybody's watching again.
Yeah, I'm probably of the opinion that a Sergio Tiger fight, like if they actually threw fisticuffs, in like the third round of the players or whatever,
that would help, wouldn't it?
That's good controversy. Stuff about racism, sexism, ageism, classism. Those are probably the things that golf wants to distance itself from, I would think. But
that would make for a really good special edition hangout, like the reaction. We'll just call it the reaction and get some people.
I'm gonna have to take a look at this after I get off.
Yeah, you haven't seen it. Yeah, totally take a look.
I kind of had a follow-up question on that myself, just if you'd heard about it, but that I'm glad Scott brought it up.
Yeah, they covered it on Morning Drive this morning, and Lauren Thompson kind of laid into the president a little bit too. So I was just from a PGA professional, and I deal with a lot of PGA professionals. It's just especially for somebody like you that's trying to grow the game and probably see that junior female clientele, trying to grow that as much as possible. To kind of grow the pie for the game of golf. It was that was the only reason I was asking. Just I know you're probably dealing with a lot of probably female-specific, programs and coaching, females to take up the game at a higher clip than what has previously been done.
Well, I could definitely Tony, director of instruction that I'm working with, has done a fantastic job with women, and we now have more than, I think it's like right at half of the kids who are in our junior program are girls.
Which is awesome.
That is so awesome.
So definitely very proud of keeping them engaged and wanting to be involved. And I guess that's all I can really say about that.
Les, one more from you.
All right, good. The phone rings tomorrow night, and it's Tiger Woods on the other end of the line, man. And he is looking for some swing advice from you. What are you going to tell him?
The first thing you're going to do is you're going to call me too. And just let's get that straight. And then what do you do?
Oh, that's tough. I don't think I need to tell him a whole lot. I was playing professionally. I played full time for a few years, in the early 2000s, and I remember how he played, and I remember playing with some really good players, and none of us could really understand or relate to what he was doing with a golf ball. And there were, we tell stories about that now. The shots that he hit off of downhill lies out of 4-inch rough with a 6-iron from 235, things like that. And he was so much better than anybody. Really, that it wasn't even comprehensible, if that's a word, what he was doing back then. And that just means that he's got that in there somewhere, and that he needs to kind of let go of some of the right brain, trying to understand and break down and fix approach that I think he's been taking, and swing the way his body wants to let him swing, and go back to some of that artistry that he had.
So to that, is it over? I mean, is he on the way out, or is it on the way back?
I'll never write
Tiger Woods off.
I knew I liked you. One more from you.
I was going to say, just when you start running junior camps and all of those things, what are your most effective tools? Is it snag? Is it 15-inch cups? Is it certain teaching methods? And then I've got a 4-year-old boy. What age do I really start maybe pushing him into some golf-related camps and things? What age have you seen is best? So it's kind of a two-parter.
It totally depends on I'll maybe address the second part first, but totally depends on their desire. If Dad loves golf and he's got plastic clubs around the house that he can swing while you're chipping, and just kind of wants to be around it because Dad's around it, or Dad loves it, and then that kind of brings him to the golf course. The social aspect and being with kids, other kids will help it as long as the kids are around his same age and ability level. And it seems like a well-run program. And that's just our experience. We have 5-year-olds who come for golf lessons occasionally in camps, 5 and 6-year-olds, and that's, in my experience, as young as they can be to maintain attention long enough to get something from that. But it's mostly just play and having fun and not technique. You just really have to have them holding the club and swinging it back and forth and kind of getting a sense of what the motion's about. And they'll figure out how to hit a golf ball, and they don't really need to be told. And their brains are some pretty super powerful computers that way. So.
Awesome. Well, Scott, thanks for coming in from the bullpen today. I appreciate it as always. You're always my first go-to because you're always there to be able. You missed one, I think, that you've not been able to join. But
Yeah, with Chris. Sorry, I mean,
we are the one person that it should have been with, and you were busy. I hope your meeting was as successful as that hangout because that was a really fun one. Thanks for not knowing what time we started today. This is the last time I'm going to tell you. The next time you ask me what time the Friday Foursome starts, I'm going to say, look at the last 400 episodes because it starts at the exact same time.
Yeah, but that's in your place, man.
Well, if it starts at the same time in my place, wouldn't it start?
I always ask too because Ricky's out there in Troon headquarters, so it's just a totally different time zone,
And the time never changes there, so it's always for him, It's his time.
And Paul, thank you for joining us. I know you have a busy week. We got one more section though, and this is Jason's favorite. It's quickly becoming my favorite. It's probably my favorite section. It's called the Back9, or as Les likes to call it, the lightning round. It's 9 rapid fire questions because they're never really rapid fire, but 9 questions. You don't know what's coming. Are you ready for the Back9 / lightning round / well? We need to pick a name, Les. Can we just settle on something?
I did. I picked lightning round. So.
Scott, what would you call it? You be the deciding factor.
On my own hangouts I'm doing, I call it the emergency 9. So you cannot take the emergency 9. Sorry.
I could call it the E9 though. It's similar but different. I like it. Okay, Paul. You ready for the E9?
Yeah, strike me with the lightning.
On the lightning round, strike with lightning, settled. Scott, you can keep your emergency 9. 'Tis the season. What is your favorite part of the winter months in New Jersey?
Seeing family and working with my committed students, hopefully, who are going to be enjoying some of the indoor activities that we've got in store.
Awesome. Favorite PGA Tour major?
The Masters.
Have you ever had a hole-in-one?
3 and 1 double eagle.
Okay. 3.
Ooh.
Remember all 3 of them?
Yeah. One was an uphill 4-iron from 210. One was an 8-iron from 150 yards when I was 18, and another was a 135-yard 8-iron when it was about 38 degrees out.
Oh, sure. That's just gross. And the double eagle, where'd that come? Those are almost.
That was at Royce Brook, actually. That was on our 11th hole. It was a par 5. It knocked in a 3 hybrid from 241.
Wow, that's a pretty good 3 hybrid. What's your handicap?
Right now it's like +2.
You're like thinking about it. Like, yeah, anything plus, it doesn't matter. It's awesome. There are a lot of them out there. What's your favorite golf movie?
Oh boy.
And don't say Bagger Vance, please.
No.
He can say what he wants.
I would say. I just have to say Caddyshack. It's probably the automatic answer.
Caddyshack 2 was good too. Don't.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Who is your favorite LPGA Tour player?
That's tough.
This question throws people for a loop because they don't expect it. I like it.
Yeah. I gotta go with the Big Wheezy.
I don't know if I've heard her called that.
You never heard Michelle called the Big Wheezy? That's her nickname, dude. Come on.
Does she know that? Because I don't know.
Yeah, she knows that. Yeah.
Okay, now be very careful, and I think I know how you're going to answer this, but will Tiger break Jack's record?
I think he has a good chance.
Okay, that's a better answer than most. In 140 characters, explain to me what it's like working with you from the first lesson. And yes, I will be counting characters.
I'm committed to getting you better and focusing on the things that are going to help you score better, but enjoy your golf more as well.
That might fit. It might be exactly 140 characters. We'll have to check that later.
I'm getting pretty good at Twitter.
I like that. I'm getting pretty good at Twitter. And what is next for Paul Kaster?
Just trying to enjoy teaching students of a lot of different ages and abilities, and trying to grow the game, and have fun, and hopefully play a little bit of golf.
That's awesome. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. Thank you, Les. Thank you, Scott. And as Jesus Martinez stole from what I consider the greatest golf movie of all time, make more birdies.